Stop scrolling. I need you to hear this because the pieces, they're all falling into place right now. And this could define the next decade. Yes, that's right. The next decade of crypto. Goldman Sachs just admitted that stablecoins aren't some niche experiment. They're looking at $1 trillion market. And at the same time, U.S. regulators are quietly giving community banks the green light to partner with stablecoin issuers. That's not FUD. That's not speculation. That's the system cracking open. And while most of crypto Twitter is arguing over red candles and who can call the bottom, Ripple is sitting right in the middle of this stablecoin explosion with RLUSD. And you want to add in Stellar's connection with the DTCC, plus Swift's digital asset trials, where XRP and HBAR are built into the testing frameworks. And you'll see exactly what I'm saying. The rails of global finance are being rewired right in front of us. This isn't a random pump and dump cycle, folks. This is structural change. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the smart money is quietly loading up while everyone else is distracted. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Bullwinkle Blueprint. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're coming back for some more of that good info, you already know what to do. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the more YouTube will push the content so everyone knows what is going on in the Ripple XRP and crypto world. Without further ado, let's look at the prices. Not too much has changed from this morning. Not going to waste our time on it. Bitcoin 113, Ethereum 4,186, and XRP $2.88. The skies will get a lot greener. You just got to hold through this bumpy little, we'll call it a little bit of a turbulence area that we are going through. Watch Guru put this out. Goldman Sachs says the potential market for crypto stablecoin is in the trillions of dollars. Yes, you heard that correctly. Trillions of dollars, not billions, not millions, but trillions in stablecoins. Total cryptocurrency market cap's only about 4 trillion right now, and we are just starting to see stablecoin pick up, right? As stablecoins start to pick up, the market cap is going to grow. We're talking 10 to 20 trillion by the time this is done. Then we get this, the OCC. They say that community banks can now partner with stablecoin companies to help drive innovation and offer new products. Let's talk about this for a second. So Goldman Sachs is telling us that the stablecoin market potential is in the trillions. A Wall Street giant that once mocked crypto is now telling clients that tokenized dollars are going to underpin the future of finance. Now here's where it gets even bigger, because you got the U.S. Office of the Controller of the Currency, the OCC, announced that now community banks can partner directly with stablecoin companies. So these community banks can now partner up with Ripple. Controller Jonathan Glout flat out said that these tokens offer banks new ways to serve the community's payment needs. And they're updating framework so banks know exactly how to do it and how to do it safely. So what does this all mean here, folks? It means that stablecoins aren't just tolerated anymore, that they are being integrated into the banking system. Now enter Ripple. Their new stablecoin RLUSD, which is set to run on the Ledger and Ethereum. It's built for compliance. It's built for institutions. And it fits perfectly into this regulatory wave. If Goldman Sachs is calling for trillions in stablecoin demand and the OCC is literally inviting banks to adopt them, then guess what? RLUSD is in position to thrive. And here's the kicker. Ripple already has the partnerships. Banks, payment companies, even a couple of central banks thrown into the mix using Ripple's tech. You want to plug RLUSD into that system and suddenly you're not talking about a speculative token. You're talking about the backbone of the new digital dollar economy. This isn't about hype anymore, everyone. It's now about infrastructure. And when you realize Ripple's already standing in the middle of the storm, you start to see why RLUSD could be one of the biggest moves that Ripple has ever made. And now let's pivot to another giant. First, let's talk about this. This tweet's going around out there. Folks, this is fake news. Armordex didn't announce that they're going to acquire 1% of the XRP supply. This is fake news. People who post shit like this, you need to block them. They just looking for engagement. This is all fake, okay? Just ignore it or block them so you don't mess with your own mental state or emotions and thinking, getting trapped and do something you don't want to because of fake news. But we get this DTCC, okay? So if you don't know who they are, this is basically Wall Street's clearinghouse. They handle quadrillions in transactions. Yes, that's quadrillion with a Q. But here's where it gets spicy. I'm not going to play the clip. You probably listened to the clip. I don't like playing clips. I'd rather just speak and talk. You understand a lot better what's going on there. Their CTO, Dan Donnie, he has been directly contributing to Stellar's work on regulated assets. Let me say that again. So the guy overseeing the infrastructure for the U.S. securities clearing has his fingerprints on Stellar and XLM's regulated asset framework. What does that tell us? Well, it tells us that the so-called altcoins that people write off aren't just random projects. They're getting woven into the deepest parts of traditional finance. Stellar has been quietly working on tokenized assets for years. And the DTCC's involvement gives them credibility that most blockchains can only dream of. Now think about the bigger theme here. Ripple with RLUSD and payments, Stellar with tokenized securities and regulated assets. We're seeing a pattern. The blockchains that focus on utilities and compliance, not just speculations, are now the ones being invited to the table. This isn't about meme coins. This is about which ledgers get chosen to carry trillions in real-world financial flows. And Stellar's DTCC connection proves that they're in the running. And don't forget, folks, XRP was mentioned as well. I know we just targeted XLM a lot, but XRP was mentioned as well. But it gets even bigger for XRP because now DTCC, it's huge. Don't get me wrong. But we get this. Confirmed news that XRP and HBAR will directly benefit from SWIFT. Hear me out, because this isn't getting nearly enough attention as it should. SWIFT. They've been running live digital asset trials as part of their ongoing transition into ISO 20022. And now we have confirmation. XRP and HBAR are both directly benefiting from those trials. You don't have to take my word for it. It is right here. It is documented, and it tells you exactly what is going on. It tells you the assets involved, how it's working, on-chain transactions. It tells you everything you need to know. I'll blow it up for those of you that are looking at the screen. So why does this matter? Well, SWIFT is the backbone of global finance. You being an XRP holder or Ripple believer, you understand that taking over a part of SWIFT is the ultimate end goal and would send XRP to prices you never even dreamed of. So we have over 11,000 institutions, 200 plus countries rely on SWIFT for cross-border payments. They are testing XRP and HBAR. And if these assets are the assets that are used to solve real problems, speed, efficiency, and interoperability with existing banking systems, forget about it then, folks. This ISO 20022 isn't some nerdy coding upgrade. It's the standard that all financial messaging is moving to. If you're not compatible, guess what? You're out. Ripple designed XRP to be ISO 20022 ready from the start. HBAR has been pushing hard for enterprise-grade solutions. So here's the big picture. SWIFT is evolving, and the assets aligned with the standards like XRP and HBAR are the ones positioned to ride this wave. The FUD says crypto's dying. The facts say the bigger financial networks in the world are literally testing XRP under the hood. That's not survival, folks. That's integration. And if you know how slow and conservative banks usually move, and governments, the fact that they're already here, it tells you everything you need to know about where this is heading. So let's zoom out and connect it all. Goldman Sachs is openly telling clients that stablecoins will be a $1 trillion market. The OCC is giving US banks the green light to use them. Ripple's RLUSD is perfectly positioned to capture that wave. Stellar is working hand in hand with the DTCC on tokenized assets. And SWIFT, the global payments backbone, is actively running trials with XRP and HBAR. This isn't retail hopium. This is the blueprint for the next financial system. Institutions are laying rails, regulators are given signals, and the assets that have been building for years are the ones that are being directly plugged in. The volatility we're seeing right now, that's just noise compared to the bigger play. The bull run isn't over. In fact, it might not even hit its full stride yet. So ask yourself this question. Are you positioned for what happens when these experiments stop being trials and start being the default? I'm going to leave it like that. On your way out, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. I will be back tomorrow with another video. Unless we get some groundbreaking news, I will pop out another video today. Enjoy your Wednesday, folks.